The next line says, "And forgive our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us." We could break this line up and look at it in quite a few different ways, but instead of doing that, we will just simply go through the most orthodox and holistic understanding of what synchorisis, forgiveness, means. Synchorisis comes from two different words in Greek. Syn, meaning with, it's also the same word for the plus sign. And as you know, in the plus sign, there must be two sides to the equation. Even if one side is zero, you have to have the zero there to balance out the equation. It cannot just be an empty space. There has to be something there. And it's the same thing with forgiveness. There has to be something there, even if there's zero. If the person isn't there, then there's not much synchorisis that can happen. Horos is the root word for place. It's the same word that we say hora, which means country, or space, a place. And so when we see synchorisis together, it means being in the same place together. Let's say we have two friends who get into a fight. And one friend gets into a fight with the other friend, and he ends up hitting his friend. He hits him in the face. The other friend, of course, is going to get very upset and very angry, especially because, why'd you hit me, right? Could it have been over this argument? Could it have been over nothing? They don't know. They just got hit. It was a physical altercation. And of course, what usually happens due to our human nature is that we end up taking steps away from each other. So the one friend hits the other friend, and then the other friend gets extremely upset, they get angry, and now they're facing away from each other. And of course, this continues. We end up perpetuating that anger, that frustration many times, very often, and so we start taking steps away from each other. In order for this to change, there has to be metania. There has to be a change of our mind, a change of our being. And what happens is that change of mind becomes the friend who hit the other friend says, you know what, that was a really dumb idea. I didn't like doing that. I love my friend. Me being in this relationship with him is more important than anything else I'm doing. No matter what, I'm going to change my ways. And the other friend says, you know, I don't know why my other friend hit me. That was crazy. Over the argument, over whatever, that's crazy. But you know what? No matter what the reason is, I love my friend, and the relationship is more important to me than my feelings and my anger. That's repentance. Now they're facing towards each other. Now they have to take the steps back. The one friend has to text or call the other friend, email, whatever the case might be, Facebook. The other friend has to respond. Then they have to get together. When they get together, now they have to offer a new space built from repentance. And so the one friend who hits the other friend says, hey, listen, you know, I got into the argument with you because I really hated your haircut. That was really dumb. I didn't like what you did there. Well, the other friend now has this great moment of consternation because now they found out why they got hit in the face, and it was over something so stupid and so ridiculous. A true test of their repentance. Because now they have to say to themselves, you know what? No, I promised that no matter what, the friendship is more important to me. So, you know what? Yeah, that was stupid that you hit me over my haircut, but I realized that this relationship is more important to me. Thank you for making the relationship more important on your end. And the other friend will say, of course, like, I'm sorry that I did that, and that I will never think that way again, and I don't care what you do with your hair or what you wear or what anything, because being in this relationship is more important to you. And so you see that we have now entered into synchorisis. We've now entered into forgiveness. This is completely different than the Western model of forgive and forget, where it becomes a checklist. And the problem with this model is that it's unrealistic. And also because it's extremely difficult to let anything go and to forgive anyone of anything without doing the work of repentance, without doing the substantive work of changing our minds, and then doing the even harder work of coming up with a new place to be in together, and then to invite the other person into that space. And so you see the Orthodox concept of forgiveness is a lot more holistic, it's a lot more life-changing, and it's extremely difficult. It's not something that's easy that we can just snap our fingers and it happens. So when we think about forgiving the trespasses of others as we forgive those who trespass against us, this is exactly what it is, right? It takes both people to forgive. It takes both entities to forgive and then to be forgiven, right? And the only way to do that is through the concept of synchorisis.